Also, Menominee Nation, Suicide, Wausau, Kane, Menominee. Appreciate being here at this opportunity to speak. Being introduced with the Water Walker is quite an honor. So what I'd like to do is just say thank you to them. So when I maximum went to the Water Walkers and everybody that organized it, got it done. It's very important that we make this specific, and the honoring of the water really does that. It's most important to look at this water as the most sacred thing about our life, and that's what the Water Walk and honoring our water does. And those water carriers, most importantly, are the ones that take on that life for us. That should be the top of our great gratitude today for that, and that's why I say natural wine to the Water Walkers. Real quickly, one thing I did want to say about the event in my role here, I'm fortunate to have been elected recently to serve as an elected person in our community. That's quite an honor. I also have the fortune of working in our environmental department, so it's kind of a dual role. The environmental department is much harder when you look at the scope of this project and how big it is and how much we have to deal with when we're looking at impacts to the environment. Not only that, when you're faced with an environment like we're in here in Michigan, where the climate and it's sort of contagious throughout states, but especially in Michigan, the legislation here is something that is working against us in our effort to fight the impacts of a project like this, the impacts to the water, the air, the soil, and again, most importantly, the culture. We look at legislation that's in favor of industry and not in favor of the public, and that's a hard thing to fight right from the beginning. So the key is the voices and the unity, which you've heard enough about today without me adding too much to it, is going to be the most important aspect for us to get this done. We did it in Crandon, and we can do it here. So I believe that the unity, everybody that's here, not just the tribes, but the communities that are up here, and our partners. In Crandon, we use the community members, we use the fishing groups, we use the environmental groups. We all work together to get it done, and it really did end up working. And that was a great gratitude to Mole Lake and the Forest County Potawatomi and those efforts that really in the end persevered. But the biggest aspect in that victory was all of us working together. The other thing is that you heard JT John Teller say earlier that Menominee look at these rivers and this area as our lifeblood, and that's very true. If the Wolf River is something that's in our blood, it is our lifeblood because it's where we are today. Historically, we were all over these areas. The Wolf River is truly our lifeblood, and the Menominee River is truly our heartbeat. That's where we stand today. This is where we are. This is part of us. We need to keep that in mind as we move forward. So, speaking for the environment and protection of the Menominee people's legacy and our culture is important. I've been taught that it's about the 7th generation. It's about going forward and protecting those that don't have a voice in this. That's why I'm here. That's why I do the job that I do as well. Not just a job to me, it's every day. So protecting our environment for those that don't have voices, those generations that are yet to come. Not only that, but those that have the forelegs and the wings, those that swim, those that don't have the voices. That's what we're charged with as Menominees to carry out in our daily life. And that's something that's important to me. Again, that's why I'm here. So again, on October 6th at that hearing, hope we have the same crowd that we have here today at that hearing. And the resounding voice should be no mind. Let's not have a mind. Let's have a safe and clean environment for future generations. Moanin.